In this video, you will learn how to fill out your FAC-P PM short form application to apply for your FAC-P PM. The short form application is only intended for GSA employees that do not already hold a FAC-P PM certification or are seeking an increased certification level. Do not use this short form application if you are new to GSA and already hold a FAC-P PM in good standing from your previous federal civilian agency. Your certification will follow you to GSA in your FAC-SOD transcript. If you hold a Department of Defense Program Management certification, you may qualify for a FAC-P PM through reciprocity. Consult with your ACN for more information. You do not need to complete this form for reciprocity. If you recently transferred to GSA with a FAC-P PM in good standing, you do not have to retake the OFPP required courses. However, you must complete the GSA mandatory coursework within 120 days of transferring to GSA. This application consists of 3 sections. Be sure to review this video in its entirety to understand all application needs prior to beginning. To start, select the appropriate short form application on Insight for the FAC-P PM level sought and make a copy for completion. The short form application is required in lieu of a resume. Do not submit a resume with your application package. Type in your full name and GSA email address under Section 1, Employee Information. Section 2, Training. This section is used to ensure you have completed the mandatory training required to hold a FAC-P PM certification. Check your FAC-SOD transcript to ensure the required OFPP and GSA specific training is listed as complete. If the OFPP training is complete, select the crosswalk option you completed from the drop-down menu. Your Acquisition Career Navigator can assist you in selecting the appropriate crosswalk option. Then check the box for each completed GSA specific training course. If you have not completed all training requirements, stop your application and complete the missing training requirements. You may resume completing the application once all the required training is completed. Section 3, Documenting PPM experience. The length of experience required for a FAC-P PM Level 1 is 1 year, 2 years for a FAC-P PM Level 2, and 4 years for a FAC-P PM Level 3. This experience does not need to be consecutive. The start and end dates for each project can overlap in time, however, any overlapping experience time will not be counted toward the certification requirements. You will not be credited with the experience time for overlapping projects, however the competency performance outcomes demonstrated will be credited. Another way to think of it is that the time spent on projects cannot be double counted. We will look at what this means on the next slide. Example 1, for APPM Level 1, 12 months of experience is required. You have a project that takes 10 months from January to October, another project that lasts 6 months from March to August, and a third project that lasts 4 months from June to September. For the purposes of the short form, there are only 10 months of non-overlapping experience, January through October, because the time period of the last 2 projects overlapped completely with the first one. In this case, the applicant would fall short by 2 months. Example 2. You have one project that takes 8 months from January to August and then another 6-month project from July to December. Sure, there's a 2-month overlap from July to August, but there are still 12 months of non-overlapping experience shown. In real life, projects often overlap, and that's fine. Even if a project is completely overlapped by another, you can still use your work and role in the project to address the competencies and demonstrate your experience. However, if projects overlap in the time frame, only the non-overlapping times can be used to calculate whether you have met the time requirement. The experience must adhere to the recency requirements for each level. The experience must be gained within the last 5 years for a FAC-P PM Level 1 and 2, and within the last 10 years for a FAC-P PM Level 3. Outdated experience will not be counted or reviewed, so conserve your time by focusing on recent experience. Generally, the experience can be with a government agency or in the private sector, or a combination of both. However, to obtain a FAC-P PM Level 3, a minimum of 1 year of experience must be on civilian federal agency and/or DoD programs or projects. The experience you describe must be directly related to the FAC-P PM competencies. For additional information about the competencies and their associated performance outcomes, click the blue hyperlink located on the application form for each competency. In the section labeled Current GSA PPM Experience, position number 1, fill in the information for your current position with GSA or your most recently held PPM position. Include the name of the government agency or private firm and your position title, the date you started the position, and the date the position ended. If the position is ongoing, write ongoing in the end date section. Do not use the future project end date, as future work cannot be credited. Use the drop-down boxes to select whether you were the appointed PM or if you were the appointed PM assistant. If you held another role in this position, fill in the role's title. If not, write NA. Fill in your specific PM experience and accomplishments using full sentences with supportive narratives and examples. This experience should be a robust description of your PM duties and accomplishments as they relate to the FAC-P PM competencies. If you need guidance on the competency or examples of associated performance outcomes, click the blue hyperlink in each competency section. Directing the reviewer to refer to your resume, copy and pasting the competency language, or listing the assigned projects is insufficient and could result in your application being rejected. If you need to provide additional positions to explain your experience, you may do so in the Additional PPM Experience section. Cut and paste this section as needed to discuss more than 2 positions. Whether in one project or across multiple projects, all FAC-P PM competencies must be addressed in your application. For more information on the FAC-P PM competencies and their associated indicators, visit fai.gov. The performance outcomes on the FAC-P PM competency model are good examples of PM duties at each level and can assist you with completing the experience section. Find your Acquisition Career Navigator on the Acquisition portal on Insight to submit your application for the next steps of the application process. Best of luck in the pursuit of your FAC-P PM.